In this presentation, we'll talk about the process of creating a course on Amazon Prime. Note that Amazon Prime is a little bit different. It is not a platform geared specifically towards course creation and course upload, but it is a video content platform where you can think about formatting your content in such a way that you can put it on Amazon Prime. It can be a little bit tricky. We do have some suggestions with our experience in putting information and course content up into Amazon Prime. Get ready for business, online business. In prior presentations, we talked about a business model for an online business. We saw how instructional videos could fit into that business model. Then it was a natural step from that point to say, okay, I got these instructional videos. Can I make a course from that? Then we took a look at different platforms that we can create a course from. Those that are hosted by a third party and basically marketed by some other company, such as Udemy being the largest one there, most likely, or those that we do ourselves and do our own marketing, such as having our own platform we would pay for, like a Thinkific or Teachable, or having a WordPress type platform. So once you go into these, and there's a ton of other, we didn't take a look at all of these, we might just mention a few other platforms you might want to consider now that if you're to the point where you have content and you're thinking about putting that out on different platforms, then we might talk about more platforms. There's a ton of platforms that of course are designed specifically towards course content. And those will include large platforms, like Udemy is going to be the largest just general platform that you will have, but there'll also be specific platforms towards specific things. So if you have a specific niche, of course, then there might be platforms that are really good that are geared towards that specific niche as well. And then there are just a whole bunch of other smaller platforms that are trying to get into that marketplace, trying to get into that space. And you really have to just say, well, is that worth my time? Is it worth my time to do these other platforms? And that's really always the question: time versus benefit. Is it worth your time to deal with these other with these platforms, or any platform? I mean, you might put a course on Udemy and not make any money, and you know, you have to decide, should I put more courses on it? But just give it time at the same time because Udemy is one of those areas where you might not make money up front, but if it's a long-lasting, evergreen type of course, then it could be something that generates revenue a long time into the future. And many of these other platforms could be that case in that position as well. But you also have to decide, some of these other platforms, you got to decide, well, are they going to be around for a long-lasting? What's their business model type? Are they focused on the short run or the long run? And just consider your time versus the reward there. Now, as you're thinking about those, you might branch out and say, well, what are some other platforms that I might be able to adjust my content for? And we talked about podcasts, like audio platforms. So if you're doing something that's basically audio and you just you're talking into the audio, unlike what I do a lot of times with numbers. So if I have a spreadsheet, I can't really do that in a podcast. But many different courses fit quite well into a podcast. So that would be another thing. And if you do a podcast, then you could think about audio books and things like that. Now, if you do other video content, you say, well, what about Amazon Prime? Amazon Prime has a platform, and it's not really geared, of course, towards course creation, because it's going to be set up in terms of programming. You have a program that you're going to be set up, but if your program is geared towards learning something, obviously many programs are, and so you could position your content then in that area as well. So let's take a look at Amazon Prime. Before I do, however, I just want to note Amazon Prime is not the same as Udemy exactly. It's similar. You're going to be uploading courses, but it's not going to be the same kind of layout that we saw when we went to Udemy, and then we went to Thinkific and Teachable and any of these other platforms that are all becoming somewhat standardized. Amazon is not quite that way because, of course, it's not geared as basically a teaching platform. Also, Amazon, although basically anybody can put the course content up there, it seems like they make it more difficult almost to try to stop people from having too many courses on there, possibly trying to weed out content. And that you could see that as a plus or a benefit. So when you go into Amazon, it's a lot more kind of tricky in terms of the review process and how you want to put the courses in there. And you're going to get a lot more feedback saying, hey, we just denied the content right here until you fix this, that, or the other thing. And it may take a lot of time for them to fix those things. So many people have just abandoned Amazon Prime as a place to put just their course content because it takes a lot more time to do so. So, and again, I think it seems like they may do that on purpose to kind of weed out content and try to get content that's going to be more that are really committed to putting the content up there. So you could see that as a good thing or a bad thing, but it will be more challenging. Now we will give you our perspective on the challenging components. Some of those challenging components will include the fact that their thumbnails will be a little bit different, so you're going to have to adjust the size, and if you don't have the perfect size, it's going to be a problem. And then 2, they want closed captions. And we talked about a tool that we can use to convert our files to text files, and we can convert those to closed captions. That's really the thing that stops many people from uploading to Amazon, is those closed captions. So we'll take a look at that. Also, if you upload too much content, they're likely to say that we don't like some component of it, and it's very difficult to basically remove the content and say, well, I took it away now, right? They want you to replace the content. So what you really want to do is add content slowly, so and a couple episodes at a time, a couple videos at a time instead of the whole course, and see if you can get accepted a little bit at a time, and then just move on it slowly. Because if you put the whole course on it, if they deny one thing in it, they're not going to publish the whole course. If you put a couple things up there, then they might publish it and you're good, and then you can just see what else you can get published as you go. Also, just realize that if you have anything that looks like an advertisement, a URL, whether it be within the actual video or some other place, they might not like that. And like many of these platforms as well, something that has to do with money, like the topic we're going to attempt to put in there right now, an online business, they might see as a marketing thing, a scam, so it might be more difficult for those types of content to be up there, which of course is what many courses are about, courses about how to make money, right? And so that's another area where they might, like all these platforms, are be very skeptical of. So those are a few things that we'll keep in mind and we'll take a look at as we go through this. Also note that when you put your information on Amazon Prime, we're going to go through this URL. So you want to go to the videodirect.amazon.com. And I think this is, I don't know exactly how the companies work and whatnot, how they tie together, but I think this is a separate company that may be affiliated to Amazon in some type of way, and they handle basically the processing of the video content that then is going to go into Amazon Prime or something like that. But it always confuses me because I always want to put like Amazon Video Direct or something like that. So you got to remember the URL and your login information for videodirect.amazon. So here's the website that you're going to be looking at. So we got the videodirect.amazon.com. So we're on Amazon Video Direct, and then you would basically set up your account here. So you'd want to make your account in this area. Now I won't go for the full process there, but you can set up your account. I'll let you go with that. And then once you're set up, you'll go to a page something like this. You're going to have your dashboard, you're going to have your video content, and your landing page. Now the dashboard will give you the overall kind of content and whatnot. Here's my obviously I have accounting videos, so I try to put them up there. There's not a huge demand for accounting videos on Amazon Prime, but I'm expecting it to spike up at any point right now. But in any case, I think it's nice to put them up on Amazon.Prime because like I say, anything could happen in the future in terms of what they do with their content, and they also do have good ranking when you do a Google search and whatnot. So I just feel like, if you were to do a rank for a keyword topic and you can rank for that on Amazon, even if you're not getting a lot of views on it, you can build your backlinks or whatever, or get more traffic that's actually going to some of your content here. They're able to rank the traffic, and you can also put it on your Amazon store page to just show that you're on Amazon Prime. And it's just kind of nice to be able to say, yeah, I've got stuff on Amazon Prime. But in any case, here's the dashboard, and then you've got your content. So this is where you're going to be entering the content. You've got standalone courses, you've got the episodes, and you've got the channel. Now, if you're converting course content into something that's going to go into Amazon Prime, then I would think you're going to be going into the episodes here. So that's where you can see a lot of my stuff is. Now, you'll note down here that sometimes they didn't take this accounting one. They didn't like something there, right? There's an error. I got to go back in there and fix an error and whatnot. So you got to kind of finesse with the Amazon Prime one and do it systematically. You don't want to just throw the thing in there and hope that everything works out, because it most likely won't. There's going to be an error, and the error will go on forever. So you want to do it little by little, add a few things, see if you can get it accepted. It's going to take like a week before they contact you with anything. Sometimes longer, it seems like. Although I haven't done this for a while. And then they're usually going to find a problem, and you just go in there and just keep fixing it. Just keep saying, okay, I fixed it. What else you got? And just keep on going and fixing that. Now, when you make the actual content, then typically you're going to have a series, which I would think about basically the course. I'll have the course as the series, and that's how you're going to break down your content, right? The course is basically the series, and then you're going to be adding seasons, and seasons can be something like you can say the seasons are going to be similar to the chapters or something, or the sections within the course. So you want to put so many courses into a season, and then you can make a new season where you think that naturally breaks. It might not be the same exact breaks where you put it into the course content into something like a Udemy, but something similar to that process. All right, so next time we'll actually start to create one here. So we'll add a series and we'll start to add our content to it.